The following video contains spoilers for A Night in the Woods, specifically the side content and some endgame themes. Big endgame plot points are not revealed. I finished my first playthrough of A Night in the Woods, and I wanted to let it settle before I started my second one. The game is beautiful and it affected me very deeply, like many other people. But my first playthrough was rather interesting, and it leads into a lesson that this game reminded me of, to take my time. I also wanted to make this video because I saw a Reddit comment complaining about how this game was too slow and that they felt like nothing really happened in it, which, to be fair, this isn't supposed to be an action-packed game. The game focuses more on story and character rather than actual gameplay. But there are moments of mini-games and platforming to break up the narrative. At the end of the day, some people have different taste, and that's fine. But the real criticism that gets to me is when people say, I don't get that character, or I don't relate to the main character at all. The game is about a 20-year-old cat girl named May, who just dropped out of college. She's being rather vague about it, and when questioned about it, she will either joke about it or deflect. She is trying to return to a place she defined as safe in her head, but only to be greeted by something that is fundamentally different. Some of her friends are the same, and then others just seem like they've shifted. Her parents are her parents, but getting older, local shops being replaced by large chains with even larger parking lots. I went to college only a few hours away from my home, but even then I felt a strange feeling when I'd see new businesses that emerged in my absence, or the way friendships seemed to shift so quickly with the new distance. Unlike May, I didn't really want to return to that old familiar. Though I didn't drop out of college, but finishing school wasn't exactly fulfilling to me either. I was proud of myself, but I felt a strange sense of unease, similar to May when I first returned to my childhood home. So I don't think you need to go through everything May goes through to get her. Even if you don't, there's a colorful cast of characters that each have their own depth littered throughout this game. I also don't believe that every game needs to be relatable, especially something like this. We are being shown an experience of this character, and we try to understand in whatever way we can. I think the point of stories is to learn about other people's different experiences, or in this case, a cat's experience. May's eagerness to meet her friends in the town square of Possum Springs is evident. She wasn't yet confronted by how her friends have changed, mainly Greg, Bea, and Angus. One of the mechanics in this game is a route system, where you can either talk to Greg or Bea. You'll be given an option to end the day and hang out with them. So I decided to steamroll her meetings with Bea because Bea was the character I found the most interesting for my first playthrough. I went to Bea's shop, hung out with her, and then slept. I did this for a good chunk of time. To be fair, I was talking to my other neighbors, really only to Selma, and I always listened to Selma's poems. I always talked to May's mom in the morning and then her dad at night, watching TV with him if he requested. Before you end the day with either Greg or Bea, you could explore the town of Possum Springs as you see fit, but I didn't realize I was missing out on so much more, because even though I mentioned previously that there was a platforming aspect to this game, I didn't realize you could still jump on the power lines after the introduction. It was in that moment I realized a lot of those Reddit comments probably went through the exact same thing. If you played the game like this, nothing really was happening, except I was getting to know May and a few of her other relationships better. And to be fair, that's really all you're doing with the extra side content too, just getting to know the people in May's community. But there's just so much depth that gets added to this world the more people you get to meet. There are no checks for these relationships, like with a social link rank. The most we get are May's entries in her journal, going over what she went through that day. To be fair, it wasn't just the power lines. I also forgot to interact with certain characters. I forgot to visit Miss Rosa, who is in the tunnel and she knows your grandpa, and she will tell you stories about him. I also didn't know you could actually visit your mom at church until after Hearthfest, because I didn't realize you could go up those stairs. players. Once I started interacting with the community more, it opened up a lot of doors. What I love about May is her ability to just talk to whoever she wants. There is a sense in Possum Springs that this is a community and that they've known May for way longer than we've known her. When I actually took the time to explore, I got some lovely interactions, such as with the antique collector who takes a boat out into the old section of town which got decimated by the flood. And there's this small moment where May is just pondering over this old mural. Mr. Chazokov teaches her about constellations, though he lets her blind herself every time she looks into this telescope. Lori M's scenes at the train tracks are some of my favorites in the game. She is just such a sweet kid, and so many people don't get to meet Lori M because she's up on the rooftops, and in her own words, it's a bit of a climb to get up there. I personally didn't even get to finish her story yet. My favorite hidden moment is specifically this. After I started visiting May's mom at the church, she let her take a nap on the couch in the back, and we see May, at this point in the game, exhausted, napping. Her mental health at this point deteriorated. As she sleeps, the ghost of her grandfather slowly comes into the frame, and he sits and keeps her company, and he just stays there as she naps. It's probably something he did throughout her whole life. You as the player just sit with these two in this small moment until it passes. This game is so many things. It's about coping with adulthood, feeling stuck, how capitalism can destroy small towns, mental health, relationships, and even more. In my personal life, this was a small reminder to take my time with things, to interact with the community that I am lucky to have, despite my own feelings of being stuck at times. It seems like relationships nowadays are just getting so transactional, or at least that's how social media portrays it, such as the whole debate on whether you should drive your friend to the airport or help them move. I'm lucky that I haven't experienced this yet, but I have my own struggles with forming relationships. May struggles a lot throughout the course of the game, but what she realized is that she values her community the most, her dear friends, and the people outside of her group that enriched her life. Whether it was by teaching her about constellations or showing her the beauty of antique hunting, even if there isn't a grand purpose to her existence, the people that care about her and that she cares for give her purpose, which is something I agree with. I am personally eternally grateful for the people that enrich my own life. A Night in the Woods is just a reminder, despite all the struggle and changes that happen, if you make the effort to interact in the community you are part of, you might be able to learn something beautiful about the people around you. I think that's one of the biggest aspects of life at the end of the day. Learning and caring about the people around you, or as Angus says, I believe in a universe that doesn't care, but people who do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I absolutely love Night in the Woods, and I wanted to do a video that I was relatively proud of, I guess, and I hope this angle is okay. I like it better, but it's still not perfect, and I still need to get a tripod because this position sort of hurt my neck a little, and I have no clue if I look good. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed my take. Bye!